Hello, hello.
Hello.
Welcome to another Collector Fusion with Collector Express, GeekFusionTV or GeekFusionTV, Collector Express, Quinn Comics, JBTM, or JTBM and Quinn Comics. Or we can do this, move things around.
Yes.
Matt, you're messing with my eyes, man. Don't do that.
Just exactly what he said.
I just went cross-eyed. Good Lord. It looks like we're on the episode of a Brady Bunch.
And
Tell me about it.
how we all became the Collector Bunch. There's
Matt. There's JB or Jace, and there's Jared.
Well, happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to the show. And well, Quinn, it's not every day is a work day for you, so.
Yeah, I only take Christmas and Thanksgiving off.
Working on rearranging my Ultraverse shelf. I just cleaned it off. I I switched around the Hulk fighting villains to my Ultraverse. So I'm gonna take a chance to do a little dusting and do that.
There you go.
Oh, Aku's already on the roll, Matt. He's saying tonight's the night you transform a transformer.
I got something to transform, but I'm not going to.
Hey, keep it clean. Keep it clean.
Make your fans happy. Come on now.
Nope. I don't think this is a complicated transformer, but I'm not going to. Because I don't care about the alt mode, like, at all. So, got to pick this dude up.
Oh, nice.
So.
Oh, that's sweet.
Which I only got because I think he looks cool in robot mode. He's one of the few Bayformers that I actually think looks cool. So, yeah. But I know he turns into some kind of crappy tank looking thing, and I don't even care about that. I just care about the robot mode.
Exactly. Well, all my Transformers, I leave them in robot mode because that's what they were in the cartoon most of the time.
Well, I mean, like, look, there's some, and I know they still make some really nice Transformers that have really, really great looking, very, very accurate, realistic looking alt modes that look, really good as like a specific kind of car or jet or whatever, right? And those are cool. And certainly back when I was a kid, when because remember when we were growing up, let's be honest, we all know this, they put more effort into the alt mode than the robot mode. That's how Transformers used to be. We're kind of like, oh, look, you can turn the car doors kind of into arms or something, you know what I mean? And they look really good. Like, there's a lot of those older figures that,
That's one of the things that they did well with the Transformers cartoon versus the GoBots cartoon. Oh, yeah. They knew not to make them look like the toys in the cartoon. GoBots did not when they did that cartoon, they did not do that correction. They made the figures, the characters in the cartoon look just like the toys. Yeah. And they look like crap.
Yep. Oh, I agree with you on that.
The toys were really cool at the time because of the fact that, like, you were okay with, look, here's this really, accurate looking semi or Lamborghini or whatever it was that, okay, yeah, I can see how that's a robot. That's cool. And then you watch the cartoon and you get you get satisfied with the robots and all that stuff and the cool action. And you didn't really care as much the fact that, like, your toy, when it transformed into a robot, looked a little goofy because the alt mode looked awesome. It looked like a real vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't do that anymore. And very few.
That's what we were talking about last week. We're disappointed with the sideburn that goes with the HasLab this year. They didn't bother to go to Dodge and get a license for the Viper.
Yeah.
They just made a generic, goofy-looking fake car. That's one of the things that people hate it with at least me personally, with the HasLab Engine of Vengeance. They made a generic, goofy-looking car. Yeah. People are like saying, oh, it looks so cool. As a car guy, I thought it looked like crap because it's not a real car.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the same thing with a lot of the stuff. If it transforms into some rando, sci-fi looking whatever, I don't care. Like, yeah. I just want it for the robot mode. Like I don't.
The only time I've really cared about when they do get alt modes with that is when they do the game reverse stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They actually have pretty cool alt modes. They actually put thought into the vehicle modes because the vehicle is part of the gameplay, so they actually have a good vehicle.
Well, and that's the thing. A lot of the alt modes are just there to support the robot mode, and they look, let's be honest, they look like trash. I know what this dude looks like when he turns into his sci-fi tank. It looks stupid. It looks dumb. However, he makes for a great robot. So, you know, and I think there are some figures that it's the exact opposite, where they look really good on the, and I know most of them are now the Masterpiece and some of the other third-party ones out there that look really good as like, they look like a real car or something like that. And those I'd be okay. I'd be okay with having those on my shelf as their alt mode. But these things, I don't care. Yeah. They don't look good.
Yeah, it's just certain ones they'll do like really good alt modes, and most of them anymore they're just kind of like weird, generic alt modes like that. Where I got it?
No. Well, I mean, look, it was the original.
That really nice Optimus Prime that came with that Soundwave 2-pack. Yeah. He's got a good alt mode, and he's got a good robot mode. Well, but they gave him a freaking gun he can't hold.
The original, I mean, the whole point of the original toy that they created a cartoon around was not to be really cool looking robots. They were to be.
They were mechs.
Yeah, that's what the original line from Japan was. Look at this. Like, it looks like a model car, but oh wait, it also transforms into a robot.
Yeah, they were weapons. They were basically weapons platforms. They were not sentient robots.
Yeah, and they put a lot of effort into the vehicle mode. That's where they put all the effort into making it look awesome. Yep. And I mean, then Transformers became popular, and the kids started caring about the robot modes instead of the vehicle modes. So I mean, I get why they stopped focusing on the vehicle modes. Because that's, but...
Well, that's one of the things that Transformers did really well, that you cared about the character.
Yeah.
Yeah. GoBots were the Kmart Transformers of the industry.
Now, I do agree with like them held.
They weren't, though. I mean, they were like first. Like,
the GoBot story was decent, but the character designs looked goofy.
Yeah. I mean, I remember GoBots coming out first. I remember GoBots before Transformers was even a thing, and it wasn't by much. I think it was like 6 months. I don't even think it was that long. It felt a lot longer when I was a kid, but like I think it was only like 6 months. It was like GoBots came out in like early 1983, and then Transformers was late fall of 1983 or something like that. GoBots was first, and I still to this day I love that one robot. I can't remember which character it is, what his name is, where he's just this really cool futuristic looking car, but like when he transforms, the like whole cab of the car is his head, and he has like these stick arms and legs or whatever, like goofy as hell looking. But it was really cool because they actually did, even though it was not a real car, they put a lot of effort into that alt mode for that one particular character. He looked dumb as hell it's kind of like remember the early Ironside and everything. Remember when they transformed, they didn't really have like heads or anything.
Oh yeah, it's like I was going to bring up the point, like Ironhide and Ratchet, they were mechs. They meant to have little pilots in the seats, but so what Transformers did, they put a little face on the sticker. That's his head.
Yeah.
Psycho was the name of that car you're thinking about, the GoBot car.
I forgot the name of the company, but they did not too long ago.
Well, wasn't that car a bad guy?
Yes, he's a renegade.
So because the main guy was Psykill, so they had one that was Psykill and Psycho.
Yep.
Jesus. Yeah, that thing looks so ridiculous, but I love the way that thing looks. And when it was awesome. Yeah, that was an awesome looking. Even though it's not a real vehicle, they did a really good job, like making that alt mode.
Then you turn into this. And I think that's what they call like the Super GoBots. They were bigger scale.
Yeah.
They had two different scales in GoBots. You had like regular GoBots and Super GoBots.
Which in toy form made no sense because Leader 1 was smaller than everybody else. And he's
they actually had like a super version of Leader 1 too. So they actually had different sizes of the same characters. like you got Leader 1. You got Regular, which is this little one.
That's the one I had.
You got the Super, which is the bigger one.
Yeah, I had the little one.
Yeah, it's weird how they do
Well,
things.
I had. It was funny because they never really released a whole lot of GoBots, and they as soon as Transformers came out, GoBots got much cheaper, and I would find them at I don't know, everybody, if you were in the 80s, like you remember 5 and dime stores, we had Emmy, Moses, and Woolworths, and so like GoBots became the official 5 and dime version of Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
So I had most of them. I even had the big wannabe AT-AT knockoff base. Remember that?
Yep.
I had that. I had a ton of GoBots because they got really cheap. You'd buy them really cheap because they were way cheaper than Transformers.
And this is a great resource if people need to identify their Transformers or GoBots. You can actually identify it by color if you don't know the name. It's like that Walker thing. It's like miscellaneous. Let's see if we can find it. I don't see it there. It was gray, wasn't it?
It had gray on it. It was gray, black, and then like either blue or purple. I can't remember.
There it is.
There you go. Yeah, I got that thing for Christmas.
The command center.
Yeah, I mean it's basically just a ripoff of an AT-AT, but it was like really cool. Yeah. So,
did it walk?
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was. I couldn't remember if it was motorized or not. You got a base. The base has a face.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they had some interesting figures like for GoBots, but they wasn't a lot. So this is all the GoBots they made. This list here.
Yeah, they didn't make a lot of them.
When you go to Transformers, you got broke down in series. Generation 1, you go through 3A through 3 groups, 3 columns. And
Jen says Jason the Wheeled Warriors had a vehicle like that too. Yeah, they had one that was another kind of quote unquote ripoff of an AT-AT, and it was that big thing, and it had the claw pincher under the head.
Mm-hmm.
Jason the Wheeled Warriors I've talked about many times because that was such a great show, and at least the toys from the vehicle perspective were really cool, and it was one of those things that the toy line suffered because unlike Transformers, like we were just talking about, the toys, they didn't make the toys to really play into the personality of any of the characters on the show, because Jason the Warriors had it was a cartoon that was made for a toy line, and then they didn't tweak the toy line to fit with the cartoon. So it was a toy line where you had these little figures that were probably 1.5 inches tall.
Yep.
that were just bland single color figures that were not supposed to be an actual character, with really cool machines and vehicles and stuff like that. And what they should have done at the very least, like they should have done something like, I don't know, recolored the figures, done something with them so that you could see Jace, instead of a random gray looking kind of sort of human being looking figure, so that you could play into the lore of the cartoon. And they didn't, and so the toys didn't sell, and the cartoon, as great as it was, which, I mean, to be honest, in a lot of ways it was just a big ripoff of Star Wars in a lot of ways, but it was still really good. And it wasn't just some rando, they put effort into the stories and the characters. Maybe not as much as some stuff did, but a lot more than a lot of other kids' cartoons at the time.
Oh yeah. Next week, staying on the Transformers thing, we get the first teaser trailer for the new
Transformers 1
animated movie, Transformers 1.
Does anybody know? I have not seen a synopsis of this movie yet. to know, like,
I don't think anybody really knows what it's going to be about.
I'm just curious to know what universe does this take place? Is this the Bayverse? Is this some
nothing?
other universe?
I think this is all new, though. That's the big thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I'm just thinking, what is it now? Its own little universe, and if so, does it take place on Earth? Does it take place on Cybertron? I mean, we'll find out when the trailer comes out, I guess. But
much as I know, it takes place on Cybertron. It's going to be a young Optimus. It might even be on Ryan Pax. And he's voiced by Chris Hemsworth, which they're doing all like movie celebrities instead of voice actors in this.
Yeah.
Well, if they really wanted it to do well,
they've got Peter Cullen at least does something. Peter Cullen's got to do at least something for this. I know they're not having to be Optimus because they're doing a younger Optimus or whatever, but like, I hope that like they at least gave him a job doing something. Maybe he's playing Alpha Trion or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If he's going to be,
but here's the thing, though: if they're having Chris Hemsworth's voice is much deeper than Peter Cullen's, so really, it could be young Optimus Prime. But what's the difference?
I don't think his voice is deeper than Peter Cullen's.
His voice is deeper than Peter Cullen's regular voice. If you've heard Peter Cullen talk when he's not doing.
When he's doing the Prime voice, he's not deeper.
I mean, Chris Hemsworth might be able to get his voice high enough where he could be young Optimus, but.
Oh, yeah. Have you ever heard the story how Peter Cullen came up with the Predator noise? He does the Predator. Mm-hmm. He voiced Kong, and his throat was raw and bloody, like because he was doing all the growls and snarls, and he like destroyed his throat. And he couldn't really do much with his doing vocalization when he did Predator, and he just made up the clicking noise for the Predator because that's about all he could do. And they loved it. Which I wondered why I always liked the Predator more than the Aliens. It's Peter Cullen.
Right.
I ordered some stuff this week, but toy-wise, I haven't got anything in yet. But I did get my 3D printer in.
Yes, you did.
And I've been printing parts. Canon sent me some STL files, and I did some shoulder pads. I was like, I have that extra Bruton head I painted up, the little bit smaller one. And I think I might do an armored version of Bruton. I got the gauntlets from the Crimson Dynamo. And I used the shoulders for the 4-buster. So I had 2 extra fists and hands that fit on the wrist.
I wonder what that head would look like on a Beastman figure.
I'd be curious to find out too. I haven't opened up that deluxe Beastman yet. Party on, Darth.
Well, I did pick up. I picked up a few things this week. I picked up that Shockwave. I picked this little guy up because he was cheap. He was $5.
Oh, nice.
Like these. It's just a redo of, remember the old school ones that we had when we were kids? That's all it is. It's just a cheap redo of that one. There ain't nothing crazy about that. I got the Revoltech / Amazing Yamaguchi fucking Deathstroke, which is decent. I'm not a big fan of the Revoltech stuff with those weird that shoulder articulation crap, but it's a decent looking thing. And it's cheap, so not gonna argue with cheap. So, but
hello.
Then I rolled into Target and found some cool stuff.
Oh, nice.
So I found me Joker.
Ah, sweet.
The new Joker figure. And
that's the one way they didn't do the shell shading, right?
Right. Well, they've actually done two now. This is the second one. So the first wave they did was the one with Killer Croc and Batman and Two-Face and I don't remember who else. But that wasn't a Build-A-Figure wave. This one's the Build-A-Figure wave with the robot Batman, Commissioner Gordon, Joker, and Riddler, and it's got that lockup Build-A-Figure pieces in it. But I got him.
Lockdown, isn't it?
Huh?
Is it Lockdown? It's Lockdown, right?
Lockup.
Oh, his name's Lockup? I thought it was Lockdown.
Well, it's
Lockdown is a Transformer.
lockup on the package. So.
Oh, I guess I'm getting my names confused. Sorry.
And then I got Commissioner Gordon. They had both of them.
Didn't they show like the preview, like some of the pictures with the cell shading?
I don't remember.
That'd be great or I'm misremembering. It'd be great if they got decided to get rid of it.
Actually, there is a little bit of cell shading on him. I don't know if you can see it, like right there on the legs. Can y'all see that? Mm-hmm. Like on the inside of the leg, just slightly.
So
maybe that's what it is, but it's not very noticeable. It doesn't like go across their faces and crap like that. Yeah, I can't tell if Joker has. That's good. If I can't tell if he has cell shading, that means if he does, it's barely there.
They're actually using the old molds from the DC Direct figures or DC Collectibles, whichever it was at the time. So McFarlane actually didn't design or engineer these figures. So the articulations
decided to add their city cell shading on there. But and I got Big Boa.
Nice.
Picked him up. I want to find a 112 scale Sylvester Stallone head to do a head swap on. And then I rolled into Target, and they had Retro Scarlet.
Sweet.
Yay. Which has not even shipped on Amazon yet. The pre-orders haven't even shipped out on Amazon yet. So
neither is Big Bad.
or Target had them, and I was like, sweet. So
Big Bad hasn't shipped theirs either.
Yeah. Well, Target's got them.
Well, I gotta go get them, I guess.
I think mine has shipped from Pulse, but I just haven't got it yet.
So I picked that's what I picked up this week is that stuff. I don't think I've picked up anything else that I'm aware of. Have I? No, I haven't. I'm messing with this dude. This is the one I was asking you about the other day for that the sculpting putty or clay or whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm fixing this dude up because he's a shitty action figure. But notice how his legs come together?
Yes.
Yeah. So for those that don't know how to do that, it's actually very easy. I just made more room on the upper thighs with a Dremel, so that way his legs actually close all the way like they're supposed to, instead of him standing there, because his legs only went to there. For anybody that had this figure, it sucked. Like he just stood there like that, and you just got to make a little bit of extra room with some with a Dremel, and you'll be good to go. So I'm working on him. I got to get some. I took that. I hate that thing he's got around his shoulder, so I took it off, but it leaves this gaping hole in his chest shaped like, I don't know, Professor X scarred him or some shit. I don't know. So I got to fill that in. I'm going to do a repaint on him and play around with him to make it a decent figure. So, but I think I'm finally done. I think with my Ghost Rider, I got my chain in.
The right size chain?
The right size chain in now. So, can actually, I think that's about all I'm going to do with him.
Well, I just checked Hasbro Pulse. Both my retro card at Duke and Scarlet has shipped.
Oh, nice.
Their next destination is North Carolina.
So who's next? Probably me, I guess. So first thing I got, which this was from my wife. Glenn already made a comment about this earlier before we started.
I don't know what.
She's like, he gives this to you and then just goes, hint, hint.
Mm-hmm. She wants you to wear that.
Did she get you a banana hammock as well?
Mm-hmm.
No. Then I got this from Ollie's, $4. Ric Flair. I got him, and then I got some Marvel Legends. So I got, let's see, I got this one right here to go with my X-Men shelf that I'm currently working on.
Very good figure.
I got that. I know. I got it just today.
He is very short, though.
He is not short.
He is.
That figure is very short. They made the torso very short.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Then I got this right here, the Infinity Saga Winter Soldier Captain America. And then, what else did I got? Let me see. Then I got this. Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy 3. That's all I got, so. That's all I got, yeah. That's all I got this week.
Nice little haul.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Well, I don't have them in yet, but I got the Scarlet and Duke coming. I got the Missing Link cartoon version, which is the cab only, and the cab and trailer, all both coming from Big Bad Toy Store. And the last Darth Vader retro card. And they had a 1-day sale yesterday. I picked up a couple more Herculeses for $16. So I like them for customs. And I went ahead, since I got the Super 7 Tank Megatron, I go in and get the Optimus to go with it. Just to basically have two display together. That will do it for me with Super 7 Transformers. I think that may be all I got ordered this week. I've been debating about getting the Pengu, like 18-inch tall Optimus Prime.
Oh, yeah.
It's
cool, though. That thing's really cool.
I keep seeing pictures of it. It's like, what is everybody I finally saw pictures next to my big non-transformable one. It's almost the exact same height. It's just a little bit shorter than that. That one's truly 18 inches, and the Pengu's like 17 point something other. And they're very close to being the same size. Just that one's just bulkier, but the Pengu actually transforms.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to see what them do a Megatron that size. There's several like third party. That's what kind of what they call it, like a fourth party. They took the design from Magic Square, their like masterpiece style Optimus Prime, and stole their design and upscaled it to the 18 inches tall. Which the Magic Square Prime is a great figure. Now you can just get it in super size, which looks good displayed with Marvel Legends. No, it's not true 1/12 scale, but it's close enough.
Yeah.
.3D print to one-to-one Laserbeak, which, if you consider like 1-to-1 just a regular like full-size cassette, Mastermind Creations actually makes those. I didn't get to their Laserbeak and Buzzsaw because it just looks weird because they're so big. The other ones are like Steeljaw, Rumble, Frenzy, Eject, Rewind. Those are fine, the bigger scale, but the birds seemed weird when they made them like supersized. And the leaked popcorn bucket for the Transformers movie. You got that one.
Is it another giant fleshlight that looks like Optimus Prime?
No, it looks like the thing that ate Optimus Prime. It's like a big bloated thing. It's not as cool as when they did the Bumblebee movie one. They had really cool. They had Optimus in his vehicle mode, and the top of the trailer opened up, and that's where you put popcorn and you put the drink in the cab, and the smokestacks were like straws. But this is not as clever as that. So if we're last to get the knockoff Mesco figures in this week, other than that, we only got the Heartbreak. One of my shelves brackets broke while I was at work. Oh no!
Oh,
that's hopefully nothing broke. I've I've been sitting in here. My place I was renting before, I was watching TV one time and I heard this big crash in the collection room. It was like before I bought my house. It was like went in there, like everything's on the floor on that one side. Like, no. Oh, did get some news with the Masterpiece 60, which is Jinrai. We got like the pre-order prices up. I think the cab is like $169 by itself. You get the whole thing, it's $269. It's also the last masterpiece in that Takara is going to make. They're going to start a new line afterwards called MPG. I don't know what the acronym stands for, but they're going to be smaller and pretty much cost the same. So they're changing scales. They're not going to do the old masterpiece scale no more. So they're basically telling everybody, screw you, we're going to do our own thing. And the third party going to be like, bringing in the money. Because people are going to continue their masterpiece collections just buying third party.
I heard a lot of people were pissed off with that Optimus. I heard a lot of people were like, this is the last one they give us, this piece of shit.
Oh, once Clear Pictures showed up, I was out. I was not into it no more. I was like, oh, sweet, they're going to do the Masterpiece Jinrai. And it's like, I love Power Master Optimus Prime. When they showed the clear pictures, it's like, holy crap, that thing is a piece of junk.
Yeah.
It looks like the hands look like old Toy Biz, like freaking hands like that, the weird hinge, and the design is not nice. The HasLab is actually so much better design figure than that last quote unquote masterpiece. It's like very disappointing, which saves me some money though. I'm not going to buy it because it looks like crap.
Yeah.
And abandoning Masterpiece, that's like their flagship thing. That just makes no sense.
I'm back.
I don't know if you caught any of that, Quinn. It's like Hasbro Takara officially announced that LP60 is the last Masterpiece Transformer.
Yeah, I heard about that. Thank God. I'm just kidding.
They're going to start a new line called LPG.
Yeah.
And they're going to be basically the same price, just smaller figures, probably less engineering.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just telling everybody just go shop at third party.
Pretty much.
If you want to keep continuing collecting Masterpiece scale figures, your only option is third party.
Well, I hate to say it, but sometimes the third party stuff is better than what Hasbro or Takara makes.
Oh, without a doubt.
So, I mean, it's a win-win for Transformers fans.
Well, for years, I've quit buying Takara's Masterpiece figures. They were overpriced, and the level of engineering and quality just wasn't there anymore. And they did like the Tropic Thunder. They went full tune. You don't ever go full tune.
That's true.
So I like what X-Transbot's been doing. They've been finally filling in some of the holes in Masterpiece that's been people have been wanting for decades. And when I say decades, because Masterpiece started in 2001. We wanted the battle chargers for the Decepticons. Runabuck, Runabout, Runabuck, and Runabout, and we finally got those from X-Transbots.
Yep.
Great figures. I guess your name's mixed up, but the Lotus had stuck thigh swivels. Actually, ended up doing a tutorial on the channel how to fix that.
Yeah.
And there was like a little tab you needed like a round off. It's too square when you try to peg it in. It won't go into peg in properly. It'll felt like really flexing everything, but all you have to do is just bevel one side of the tab.
Speaking of pegging in.
Oh, hey now.
I'm keeping it clean, guys. I'm keeping it clean.
I mean, look,
we have Star Wars Black Chrysanthemum figures. Yes, do anybody have one? Okay.
Hey man, look, I don't need to know what kind of weird toy fetish
no.
you're into when it comes to pegging.
There's a nice fix that you can make for your Black Chrysanthemum to give him better bicep butterfly swivel range of movement. There you go. Sorry. Mm-hmm. So basically, you can get your Black Chrysanthemum to do this now.
Oh, nice.
So you basically put him in hot water. You know, he's got dumbbell joints for his shoulders. They pop out, and then these little things just sit in the shoulder socket. You just pull them out, snap them back in there, and then your Black Chrysanthemum can do this. Look at that. He can almost look down the barrel.
That's perfect.
Yeah. I was watching a review from Robo Don't Know, and he passed on that information that somebody else had did. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I tried it, and sure enough, I like that figure even more now. But
by the way, that figure is like going on clearance everywhere.
Oh yeah, but back a little bit.
Yeah, I'm seeing him like Walmart's putting them on clearance. I saw him at Target on clearance. Seen them online on clearance. I don't know why. They made so many of them that they have to put them on clearance. Like I guess they thought, oh, it's another Wookiee. This is going to be a home run. Pump out a ton of them.
Well, it's us because they overpriced him. They overpriced the figure as well.
Well, they're being very liberal with the term deluxe figure anymore. It's like one of those Spider-Mans, they made a deluxe figure and it didn't come with anything extra. It didn't even have full sets of hands. They call it a deluxe figure. It was the PS5 Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
And they priced it at like a ridiculous like $40 or something like that.
It was 37.
It didn't have anything extra, and the colors are wrong.
It was. It was bad. I got a buddy who bought that figure. It was bad.
Yep. What? Nothing? No. What? I didn't say anything. Well, in more Transformers news.
You're getting ready to what you say.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. What we got? There was that CinemaCon this weekend, and they did the actual official announcement that we are going to be getting a Transformers G.I. Joe crossover movie.
Yep.
Woo! Now, there's a good side and a downside to this. Good side, it's produced by Steven Spielberg. Downside, it's also produced by Michael Bay. So,
what? I thought he was gone.
I don't know. I don't know which way this movie's going. Now that being said, look, Bumblebee is the best, hands down, Transformers movie ever, and it was produced by Michael Bay. So there is hope. Okay, there is hope. And Michael Bay, he also produced Rise of the Beast too, which is, I think, the second best Transformers movie ever made. Both of which happen to be the only two that Michael Bay didn't direct, but he produced both of them. So just because he's producing on it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be bad. And Steven Spielberg is producing as well, so that's a good thing. They haven't gotten a director yet. Obviously, it hasn't started filming. There's a whole. I mean, this is still years away at this point. But this is something that geeks like us have been wanting for decades. So I hope they don't screw it up. I really do. We'll see.
If it's not made properly, then it's not going to succeed. The G.I. Joe characters need to look like the G.I. Joe characters.
It can't be
not the actors, but the outfits. The outfits need to look at least 75% accurate. If not, it's not going to succeed. The Transformers in any incarnation will be all right. As long as they're,
I don't think people would like to regression back to the Michael Bay Transformers.
That's what I was about to say. As long as
junkyard looking messes
of the innards, you can still keep it high tech, but keeping it old school as well. There's a way to do it.
Well, they did it in the last two movies. The designs in the last two movies were really good. Bumblebee and Rise of the Beast, I thought they did a really good job. There were still some ties to the Bayformer look, but not a lot. They were mostly, they mostly tried to stick to more, classic looks for the characters, and I think that worked, especially in Bumblebee. So they just need to stick the landing with that for that part. They need to understand that that's what people want. I'm sure they do. We'll see if they do it, but.
So are we going to start fan cast? Who we pick to play who?
And I still say, look, I mean, we talked about it when Rise of the Beast came out last year. I say John Cena plays Duke. He was in Bumblebee. Yeah. It makes perfect sense. You take that character and he becomes a founding member of G.I. Joe, and you have him, his code name is Duke, and you have him be Duke. I think John Cena,
Scarlett Johansson would be great for Scarlett. Just saying.
Well, she don't have to worry about answering their own name. Her name's already Scarlett.
That too, but she's just hot as hell. So I'd rather see her as Scarlett. So
yeah.
So I mean, I'm just saying, you've laid some groundwork there in the movies. You've got this force that was already in Bumblebee. You've got you bring it. You've got the character from Rise of the Beast. I forget his name, but you can certainly make him have joined up and become a Joe. So you've got a character from Bumblebee in John Cena, and you don't have to make him Duke. You make him somebody, right? Yeah. Give him one of the code names, right? You got the character from the last one. You make him somebody, and you bring those two universes together. You laid it out perfectly.
Aku just said we killed the movie. Great job by casting John Cena as Duke.
No, I don't think so. John Cena's really good when he wants to be. The problem is John Cena half the time picks really stupid movies. John Cena can be incredibly entertaining.
He could be under a bad contract too. Like Jason Stanton, for years was stuck with that group, wouldn't let him out. That's why he kept doing those stupid Crank movies and all that stuff, because it was his contract.
Yeah, John Cena, when he's in a good movie, can shine. He is good at action, and he's really good at comedy. Surprisingly, like he's really good at comedy. You ever seen that movie Blockers? That they had to change the name because the original name of the movie was Cock Blockers. Have you ever seen the movie Blockers with John Cena, where it's him and two other characters going around trying to make sure their daughters don't lose their virginity on prom night? It is fucking hilarious, and John Cena is absolutely fucking funny as shit in that movie. Like, the dude can be the dude. I would not call him a good actor. However, I would say he's really good in action movies, and he is really good. He's got good comedic timing. If they would, he needs to
let it go though. He's gone bald, and he just needs to do the Rock.
Yeah, he needs to shave his fucking head. Yeah.
He's like, it's okay. It's all right to be bald.
Yeah, nobody gives a shit, dude.
I mean, I ain't gonna worry about that, but it's okay to be bald.
Well, gentlemen, I hate to cut and run, but I got to close up and get ready to go home. But you guys have a great evening, and until next time.
You have a good one, Quinn.
Yep. Huh. Yeah, and Sid for Life's got a good point there. Anybody doubting John Cena's acting hasn't seen Peacemaker or the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was the only best part in Ricky Stenicki.
But, man, I don't know what's happened since his last role, whatever what he's done. He's lost a ton of muscle mass. He showed up at WrestleMania, and he's like half his normal size.
Yeah. He's ripped, but he's not anywhere near as bulky as he used to be, which I think that works better since he's doing movies now.
Ooh.
Because it is a lot harder to cast him in stuff being huge as opposed to just being ripped.
I kind of like this idea, but the problem is that Snake Eyes don't talk.
That's true.
And he wears a mask, so you'd never see him.
I mean, Ray Park did a really good Snake Eyes, though.
Yeah, Snake Eyes is one of those characters where I don't really think, as long as they're like can do good action, that's all you need for Snake Eyes.
Yeah, you just need a really good stuntman. Like that's all you need.
Ray Park was great as Snake Eyes in those two G.I. Joe films, though.
But you don't really need a big name actor.
You don't need an actor to be Snake Eyes.
Unless you're just doing the flashbacks before he loses his voice and he gets scarred up.
Yeah, you don't need anybody.
Do a real origin, not that crappy movie they did.
Yeah. You don't need to cast an actor. You just need a stunt guy to do Snake Eyes, and that's fine.
Yep.
You don't need to give a personality to somebody like that. Like, yeah. There's no reason to spend money on that. Spend money getting a good actor for Duke and Flynn and Shipwreck.
He's British. That'll be Big Ben.
The what?
Since he's British, that'll be Big Ben.
Oh yeah, bring in Big Ben.
I mean, you guys wouldn't want to see him again?
No.
No, I mean, first of all, there's so much wrong. Look, I did not hate the movie the way some people did. It's not a good movie, but like as a shitty kung fu movie, I was like, it wasn't that bad. Like, I understand why nobody liked it, and it was shitty as a G.I. Joe movie, but like, I didn't hate the movie. Maybe because I didn't pay for it, you know what I mean? Like, I waited till it came out on Amazon and watched it for free, so I was like, whatever, right? So I didn't like. Some people despise that movie as just a rando fucking, off the cuff whatever movie. I was like, it's fine, but like, that is not Snake Eyes at all. Snake Eyes.
Oh yeah.
That's not like. I don't know who that character.
Yeah, people like,
Storm Shadow.
Larry Hama was like signing off on it. Yeah, it's the biggest paycheck he ever got.
No shit.
They don't make. I hate to break it to everybody. All are like great comic book people we've grown to be fans of over the years. They were like great writers and artists. Marvel DC pays shit. They only make money from like the movie royalties. If they have a part in creating the character, that's the only time they even make any real money.
Yeah.
But they never got the recognition and like pay as for pay. That's why they're 60 years old and still going to cons, unfortunately.
Aku just said Peacemaker as a show is just as offensive as fake Mandarin.
What?
Peacemaker just said. He just said it's offensive.
Offensive how? Like, it is offensive. Like, if you're easily triggered, don't watch that show because it's got a lot of offensive shit in it. But like, offensive in the way that fake Mandarin was offensive. No, Peacemaker is great. It was an awesome show.
Definitely.
I didn't finish it. I thought it was.
You got to finish it. You got to finish it, Jared. It's good.
Oh, dude,
I don't have to do nothing.
It's great.
You can buy the Walmart DVD, the complete season.
Peacemaker's saying it's not Peacemaker. I don't give a shit if it's Peacemaker or not. First of all, Peacemaker's a character I don't give a rat's fuck about. Like, I don't care about Peacemaker. I've never cared about Peacemaker. There's a dude running around with a toilet bowl on his head in the comics. Like, I don't care about Peacemaker. They actually made Peacemaker an interesting character.
It's understandable. It's one of his favorite characters. So,
I mean, it's Hollywood.
I will not apologize for not liking Peacemaker in the comics.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, everybody likes certain. If when they don't do, we lost Jason.
Yeah,
he must hit the back button. But I don't blame anybody not liking their version of the character not being portrayed on the screen. You're fans of a certain thing. If they don't do it right, do the character justice to what you're a fan of, I understand that. It's not like.
Oh yeah, I get that. But there's also a difference between like liking a specific version of something and then not understanding when something can be different but still be good. Like, and I get it because we've gotten so much shit where that, look at that last Fantastic Four movie, right? they changed so much about the Fantastic Four that Fan Four Stick, whatever the pellet was, right?
Yeah.
And it was just awful. It's an awful movie. However, there are times when something comes out that's very different from the source material, but is still good on its own, as its own thing, right? I think Peacemaker is one of those. It might not be comic accurate. It's still a good show. It's still an entertaining, good show on its own, right? Like, there are plenty of things that I don't like because they're not the version of the thing that I like. But I won't say, like, I can completely understand why other people would, whether it's TV shows or movies or whatever. I'd be like, well, I would rather have this version of a character or this version of the story. But I totally understand that it's still a good thing. It's just not my preference for that particular character or story or whatever. Like, for me, Peacemaker is one of those things, like, whether you like that version of all those characters, which is much more goofy and sarcastic and, to be honest, kind of Deadpooled up.
It was totally Deadpooled up.
Yeah. Even if you don't like that for those characters, like, it's still a really good show. It's a very well done show. It's got a lot of great action, great stories, great actors, great dialogue. Like, it's still a really good show, even if it's not a version of Peacemaker or, whatever that people like. You know what I mean? It's kind of, and the reason I say that is because it's the same thing with, like, Man of Steel. A lot of people that I know hate Man of Steel because they're like, oh, that's not my version of Superman. I'm like, well, it's still a retardedly good movie. Like, it's still a really good movie, and it's the best Superman movie we've ever gotten. So, like, I get that it's not like hashtag not my Superman or whatever. Like, I get that. As a Superman purist, I grew up with, hardcore. I grew up so pure on Superman that I don't like the Chris Reeves versions of those of Superman. Like, I like Chris Reeves, but I don't like those movies because that's not the Superman that I was reading in the comics. He I'm not gonna get, that's a whole other conversation about, all the reasons in those movies why hashtag not my Superman, right? But I still look at least the first two movies and say, well, yeah, those are still really good movies, especially for their time, and I understand why people love those movies, even if I don't.
I love the Christopher Reeve movie, like the first two, especially the Donner cut, the second one.
And I totally get it, man. Like,
I fall in the category where I'm not, for a Superman movie, I'm not crazy about Man of Steel, but it's still a good movie.
Yeah,
it's fundamentally completely not understanding the character with Man of Steel for me, the people who made it.
Yeah, and see, for me, that's what the Chris Reeves movies are. Like,
I grew up like with post-crisis, reading post-crisis Superman.
Yeah, the Chris Reeves movies for me are like, they're just big egregious mistakes in those movies. I'm like, that's not Superman at all. Like, and we've talked about this before. There's no way in hell Superman would ever give up his powers just to fucking sleep with Lois Lane, just to be with her. He would never leave the world defenseless for Lois Lane. As much as he loves her, he would never do that. No version of Superman would ever do that. And there's just things like that in those movies that I watch and I go, that's not Superman to me.
They put that kind of stuff, though, in like storylines a lot afterwards, though. From that point on,
yeah, because they got it from that movie, which is, not something that Superman would have ever done. But I'm not trying to get into a Superman debate, but like the point is, we all have the things that we like in certain versions of characters that we like, that make us like certain things, and we have certain versions of characters that make us not like other things. But like, you can still look at something objectively and go, but that's still good. Like, I still think it's a good movie. Or, and I understand why other people like it. I totally understand why people like the first two Superman movies. I don't like them, but I totally get it. They are good movies. Like, they were great representations for comic book geeks in the late 70s and early 80s. They were great movies. And a lot of us in our age group grew up with them as like the first superhero movies we had ever seen. You know what I mean? Like, I completely understand why people like those movies. And I will never say those are not good movies. I don't like them, but they're good movies. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's the same thing with Man of Steel. A lot of people don't like Man of Steel. Cool. I love Man of Steel, but like either way, it's a good movie, right? Whether you like that interpretation or don't, or like what, that did Superman. That was the big thing. Superman doesn't kill. Well, I mean, he does, and he has only when necessary. But whatever, you don't like that version. I get it. Like, but
they've actually did like really big stories too in the comics where he's felt so much guilt. He actually, from killing Zod and his soldiers,
like the
in
one
the comics, where he would actually was actually fighting crime like Batman in the streets and as a different persona because it was like so much guilt.
Yeah,
like the one story, What Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, like that one. Remember where he went in the gold kryptonite room and got rid of his powers because he killed? I still have that comic. I still have that novel.
Not familiar with that one.
You can look it up on YouTube. It's called What Happened to the Man of Tomorrow. It's a what if story, but it's a really good one.
I didn't read a lot of battle.
To me, it makes way like, and I because I know what story you're talking about, and I hate the idea that Superman would ever give up his powers, but it makes way more sense Superman would give up his powers because he thought he was out of control and might actually hurt people. No. Then I love Lois Lane, so I want to be just a normal person with her. It makes way more sense for him to give up his powers if he thought he had gone out of control. And because the one thing, the most important thing to him, period, end of story, is to try to help people. That is a core belief in who Clark Kent is, not Superman's. He's the exact opposite of Batman. Clark Kent is who he is. Superman is a costume he puts on, which is the exact opposite of Batman. And it's what I love about Clark Kent is because he is good and pure and wants to do something right, and it is reflected how his parents raised him.
That's fundamentally what I feel is wrong with Man of Steel.
I feel the exact opposite. I feel that's what's right with Man of Steel. Because in Man of Steel, we were watching.
Jonathan taught him not to let people die and not to expose himself. They were not good people.
Should we call it?
To me, Man of Steel is seeing a story that I have never seen before, which is the complex interactions between him and his parents and the moments in time where he went from being that kid who did not understand who he was, who thought his parents hated him because of how he was raised, who ran off and then realized that every time his dad had been hard on him, every time his mother had said something, everything, they were raising him to be a hero. And it's that movie is the moment that Clark gets it. The movie is the moment that everything that his dad had told him, the way he was raised, everything comes together, and he realizes who he is and who his parents raised, his real parents, not Jor-El, his real parents, and why they raised him the way they did. He gets it. He understands everything that his dad does. That movie is that moment where he figures all that out to become the hero. That's why I like that, because we've certainly never gotten a movie about that. We've never gotten a TV show about that.
Sacrifices himself in the movie for no reason. Superman Clark is so fast. He could have saved him and nobody ever even seen it.
Should we change the title of this stream to a Superman debate?
Boy, yeah. I love comics, movies, and
I love talking about this. This is a subject that I've gotten into many fights with friends over.
I want to make this one
defending Man of Steel and saying I don't like the original Chris Reeves movies. I've had many conversations that didn't end well because I've gotten into big fights over this. So,
I can disagree with my friends all the time. It's just
I know. Some people can't, and this is where you figure out.
I exactly understand it. Exactly what your point is with your stuff, what your way you like yours, and I just have a different viewpoint with
exactly. And I understand the same thing about you. It's just surprising how many people, because we're on the internet, you have these conversations, and they're like, you, and they just never talk to you again because of some opinion on a movie, and you're like, really? Is that an adult way?
Well, I'm done.
No, I had this same debate with all my friends about Star Wars, and specifically like whether like I have a lot of friends that like, and I hate the sequel trilogies too. They're absolute garbage and trash. But I still maintain that like Force Awakens, Force Awakens is still a better movie than Phantom Menace. Like it's a better, more entertaining movie. Those, I mean, as a sequel trilogy, those movies are trash.
They both have Mary Sue's in the movies too, so
yeah. But I find personally Force Awakens a more entertaining. Like I can't get through Phantom Menace. I usually like dip out until Duel of the Fates kicks on at the end, because most of that movie is just so horrible that until it gets to like the third act, I can't watch that movie. But I can actually sit through all of Force Awakens and be fairly entertained by it.
Yeah.
And so I get into fights with Star Wars fans of mine. Friends of mine.
Phantom Menace is a mess of a movie.
Oh, it's awful. Now, it's not as bad as like, it's not as bad as Force Awakens or Rise of Skywalker. I'll grant you that those two movies are worse.
Yeah,
but it's still worse than the first of those sequel trilogies. So, and I've gotten into so many fights about that. The other one I get into fights about all the time is Luke Skywalker's portrayal in I'm mixing up the names of all these movies. The second one, the second of the sequel trilogy. What is it? I just said it, and I've already.
Was it the Last Jedi?
Last Jedi. Thank you. Like I out of all the things that make that a horrible, horrible movie, I don't have a problem with Luke Skywalker's portrayal of it, and I know even Mark Hamill does. Like I get it, and I know like. Even Mark Hamill, like, and a lot of fans are like, no, Luke Skywalker's a hero, and he's this, and he's that, and all that stuff.
Well, and Luke Skywalker, I won't disagree on that one, too. It's like the Luke Skywalker was a character that never gave up on Darth Vader, which was everybody else would say is irredeemable. Nothing. Never thought about was it until when he found out who he was, what happened to him, he never thought about giving up on him, was going to redeem him. He wanted to kill him before he found out what he was.
Yeah.
But when he found out, he never gave up, and that's why it brought him back to the light side of the Force. And I know, like we were talking about before, what they show in the Last Jedi is like Kylo Ren's version. What he was telling the story, that never happened. The movie did not explain that. You have to interpret that. Because Rian Johnson sucks.
Yeah, Rian Johnson's awful. He's so awful. Yeah,
and he made the movie to piss half the fans off.
Yeah, he intentionally. Him and what's her face did it intentionally.
Yep.
So, but my other thing is, and I can't. This is where my biggest. The biggest issue I've come into is that a lot of people hated the idea that Luke Skywalker would go off to a planet where nobody would find him and live as a curmudgeon alone and kind of just give up and never want to be, and be like, I guess this is it, because not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my point has always been,
and welcome, Cannon.
Hey, I want to go back to the Superman discussion here in a second.
All right. Well, let me get this out real quick. My point has always been that if you look at who trained Luke, right? Like Obi-Wan was with him for like 3 days. Okay, he was with Yoda for several weeks. Is kind of the roughest estimate we can come up with. Even though in the movie it seems like he's only with him for a couple of days. It's supposed to be like 2 to 3 weeks that he was training with Yoda. So the only example of a Jedi he has for more than a couple of days with Kenobi, right, is a Jedi who, when things went bad, went off to a planet in the middle of nowhere to not be found and live alone. Like, he literally became Yoda. And to me, as a fan growing up with those movies, I went, well, that makes perfect sense. shit went really bad for him, just like it did for Yoda. Things did not turn out the way he wanted with his Jedi Academy. It would make sense that he would follow the example of his teacher, which was, I guess I fucked up. I can't fix it. I'm going to banish myself into the middle of nowhere, exactly like Yoda did. To me, that always made sense. It didn't piss me off. Like, yeah, I would love to see Luke be the hero, but like the fact that he wasn't and that he did exactly what Yoda did not upset me. It story-wise made complete sense that he would do the same thing Yoda did.
The story-wise, though, the one of the contentious points on that part is, where the hell did the First Order come from? They never explained really why they're still called rebels and they're not the actual government.
Dude, that whole part of everything made no god, like it kind of made. So first of all, the name First Order is dumb. They should have just called them Imperial Remnants. Okay. Second, in the first movie, in Force Awakens, it makes a little more sense where they actually go to the point of explaining that, okay, the new Republic has formed a government that does not think that the First Order or Imperial Remnants or whatever we end up calling them is a threat, and there's some outlier on the outer rim that we don't need to pay attention to, so they don't give it any credence and they don't dedicate any time or effort to trying to stop them because they don't think they're a real threat. And so Leia goes off and kind of does what she did before, which is kind of start forming her own quote-unquote rebellion to fight them because the New Republic won't. New Republic saying, no, we don't think it's a threat. We don't want to put together. We don't want to do what we did 30 years ago and have another big, galactic civil war. We think you're being paranoid, Leia. We're not giving you any funds. We're not giving you any troops. We're not giving you shit. And they put enough of that in the first movie that it made sense. And then they shit on that completely through the next two movies and made it seem like, no, there was really a rebellion. And like they went, and it was all what's his face, Ryan Johnson.
Roundhead. Just call him Roundhead.
Everything up. I'm not saying like J.J. Abrams is some great filmmaker. Like he has his place, but like he's not. But at least in the first movie, I felt like he was attempting to do something kind of cool, even if he's not really good at it. Whereas Ryan Johnson was like, we're just going to screw everything up for everybody and try and piss off people as much as possible.
Okay.
Circle back.
Made a point.
Let's circle back. Let's go back to Superman.
Superman,
okay.
Go ahead.
All right, you ready?
Was a great Matt's point saying if all the comics, books, and games portrayed Luke like that, it might make more sense. Is what Akub said. So he was kind of agreeing with Matt on that about Luke being Yoda. And then
the problem
person actually asked why.
The problem is we don't have anything because they killed all of the extended universe. So there's nothing. When that movie came out, there is no canon for Luke outside of the movies.
Well,
I think it's stupid because I think the expanded universe is better than anything. Like I think the stories that we got
the first thing they did was kill the expanded universe.
Yeah, I think the stories we got in the 90s and 2000s from the expanded universe are better than anything Star Wars we've ever gotten. Those books, that were written, like the Timothy Zahn stuff, the X-Wing Rogue Squadron stuff, the Truce at Bakura. Like all these stories that were put out were some of the best sci-fi story writing and best Star Wars writing ever. The fact that they just flushed all that down the toilet pisses me off to no end. But in canon, like there is no evidence that Luke Skywalker is anything other than when we last saw him, which is at the end of Return of the Jedi. You know what I mean? There's no evidence of that. Because there were
if you're we do now with Mandalorian.
And name also
we get a little bit in Mandalorian, but that was after. That was in response because that those movies came out first.
Right. The Mandalorian was set at a time before, and they were trying to fix a lot of that.
They were trying to fix it, which they should totally because they completely ruined Star Wars with those three movies. Anyway, okay, back to Superman. Back to Superman.
Name had a fan cast question for us. He had a fan cast question for G.I. Joe. He said, Alan Rickman as Sergeant Slaughter. Our thoughts?
Well, let's go back to
that was passed away.
Alan Rickman is dead.
Okay.
You mean Alan Richman?
I think he meant Richmond. He said it's the guy who
Reacher Slaughter? Yeah, that works.
Yeah. That would work. Yeah.
He put Rittman instead of Richmond, is who he put.
All right, let's go back to Superman then.
Superman.
All right. You want to hear my point about Superman?
Yes.
All right. So everybody has a big problem with that part at the end where Superman kills Zod, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So here's what you have to look at the dilemma that Superman's facing here, is because Zod is one of the last few Kryptonians that he knows exists, right? And so he's deciding between the connection that he's made with the people of Earth and his upbringing versus making a connection with where he was originally from. Right, but further than that, throughout the entire movie, Superman has been portrayed as a pacifist. Right, he'll break stuff, but he won't really hurt people. Right, your power, if you refuse to use it, is meaningless. But in a situation where it comes down to the ultimate expression of your power versus the protection of someone who is powerless, their life, and you have to make that choice, then if you refuse to make it and remain a pacifist and allow them to then pass away as a result, then you're then responsible for that act, right? You are partly responsible for it because you had the ability to do something about it and you chose not to. So Superman has to grow past where he's been. Never before has he been in a situation where he could have ever been bested by anybody, right? Where he ever was put to a moral dilemma or question that was so difficult as the choice that he had to make between Zod's life and the life of that family.
Yep.
Right.
Well, the whole story is
so that at that point, before that, flying around doing stuff, but at that point where he makes that decision, right? He now has become Superman at that point, because only at that point has he said, all of the rest of this time I have been capable of expressing this power, and I have chosen not to. But when the need arises for me to stand up and, do what is necessary, I will express that power in the most, extreme way that is necessary. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Because if you have power but you never use it because you choose not to, then your power isn't meaningful. It's meaningless, right? It's only once that you recognize that you are powerful, and then you choose not to use it when you shouldn't, and you choose to use it when you should. Only then is your power meaningful.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I agree. That whole movie for me is Clark becoming Superman, realizing who he is, and understanding understanding the difference between nature versus nurture.
Well, on top of that, he also has to overcome so parents, right? Parents who have kids, they understand this. They're worried about their kids a lot, right? So your kids are going to go out into the world, and you grew up through it, so you know that the world is not a nice place all the time, right? And you went through that, and you have to take your little innocent, wonderful child, and you have to make the decision not to coddle them. You have to make the decision to put them out in the world as prepared as you can make them. Jonathan Kent was still operating under that fear of putting Clark out there into the world and exposing him when he made the decision to tell Clark to stay and let the tornado take him.
Yeah.
So as Superman's story progresses, you can see his growth where slowly his acceptance of that kind of fear and giving in to that kind of fear wears off as the movie goes on, and he does, he sees where his help is needed, and he goes and rescues the people on the platform, the will platform, right? And every little increments he starts to see, okay, I have this power and I need to use it responsibly, right? And I think that whole decision-making process builds until at the end of the movie, you see when he finally becomes Superman, when he has to make that ultimate choice. Am I going to express the ultimate expression of my power by taking this person's life, who arguably is closer to who I am than who these other innocent people are, but the person who is closer to who I am is pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Well,
you could literally call that movie Becoming Superman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which I love, because we had never really gotten that story, certainly not in movie or TV form. And I mean, although I guess you can make the argument Smallville did that, but just
I was going to say, I think Smallville. But that's the entire premise of the show was going to
be, but not in a condensed story like that it became so evident. The point of that movie is not for him to fight Zod. The point of that movie is not to be here's Superman, people. The entire point of that movie is Clark growing as a person to become the hero that his dad and his mom always knew he could be. But like you were saying, I mean,
but we're afraid to let him be.
They were afraid to let him. And at the same, so they his dad, for me, his dad not only was afraid to let him go into the world, but he was afraid to let him go into the world knowing how powerful he was and how he could respond to the world if he grew up to be just a regular, you can imagine just a regular.
Not only afraid
teenager.
For him, but afraid of him.
Exactly. And so
there's a lack of trust.
Yeah. And so he kept a tight leash on him for as long as possible, to the point that Clark felt smothered. But Jonathan knew, this is what I have to do, because this is what's best for him, and this is what's best for the world. And what that movie is, Clark realizing all of that, and realizing why his dad did everything he did to then come out the other side of everything that happened to actually be Superman.
Yeah.
But I love that movie. That's one of my favorite comic book movies ever. I watched that movie.
So I really liked that movie, but I also really liked the original, Superman movie.
I like the original more as a kid, because I was a kid, you know what I mean? And for me, it's
more innocent. It's more graspable as a kid because of its innocence. It doesn't delve into deeper ethical questions or inner turmoil or anything like that. It's very innocent, and to some extent, Superman has always been kind of that that innocent, kind of naive, or he comes off that way as innocent and naive. But when you see when he's well written, right, when you see that that more inner turmoil that he has to go through, I think there's, what is it, Justice League Unlimited, where he fights Shazam, or where he fights not Shazam, he fights Darkseid.
It was Justice League Unlimited. He fought in the last 2 episodes. He fought against Darkseid.
And he says
that episode where he said he feels like he's living in a world made of cardboard.
Yeah, he said, I every day I hold back.
Oh, that's one of the best lines ever.
Nobody, I feel like I live in a world made out of paper.
Always take constant care not to break someone. Yeah.
I'm actually live in a world of tissue paper.
Yeah, but you can take it, can't you? And then he just dishes it out.
Rare occasion, let me cut loose.
Yeah.
And show you just how powerful I really am. I'm actually getting to meet George Newborn in June at Nashville Comic Con. So he's going to be there.
The storyline with the animated movie with Supergirl. that story. They were retelling like the comic stories. When he fights Darkseid there, that was another good fight with Superman and Darkseid.
And the one versus him and Shazam, where Luthor sets him up to destroy that.
That was it. Yeah, because the it's supposed to be a reactor, but Superman thinks it's a bomb, but it's made out of lead.
The movie. You're
talking about
the Captain Marvel, the movie with Superman. That was fantastic. Yeah. I love it when he finds out
that he was set up.
No, this is the different one. You're talking about just the. I'm talking about the animated movie. The animated movie where Superman fights Black Adam and Captain Marvel. Black Marvel and Captain Marvel. And how mad Superman gets at the Wizard when he finds out what he did to Billy.
Yeah.
Is just
I think
masterfully understanding the character of Superman.
What was the other animated one where it was him versus the Elites or something like that?
Yes,
that one was a great Superman fight also, and really kind of demonstrates, he has come to, in that situation, he's come to fully embrace his role as Superman, who he is. Mm-hmm. He recognizes that yes, he has all this power, but if he doesn't want to become a tyrant, he needs to balance that power with some kind of ethical code. And even though the populace is crying, we want justice, and we want people to, who are bad to be killed and all that stuff. He, in that moment, he becomes the teacher, right? He teaches those people. He says, I scared you. Well, I scared myself, at the end of that, or whatever he was saying. But essentially, he's like, this is what you told me that you wanted. This is how it would look if I did. How terrifying is that?
His ending speech to Manchester Black was, Manchester was telling him after it was done that you're living a dream world. Superman saying, that's good. Dreams save us. They keep us who we are, in a short sense. I'll tell you, the weakest Superman animated films I have that I've seen is Superman Doomsday and Superman Unbound. Those are the two weakest ones in my opinion.
When they don't follow the comic book stories, they're to the T, like a lot of the really good ones do. They're weak. Mm-hmm. The original Superman Doomsday one, it was done in the Bruce Timm style, but
it wasn't tied into the universe.
It was not well done because it didn't do the Reign of the Superman stuff and all that. And Reign of the Superman, like the death, the funeral, the reign of the Superman, that needs to be told as a whole story. It's like the newer ones where they kind of try to do that in like a New 52 setting was pretty good. Not perfect, but they were pretty good.
I liked that DC animated universe that we got there for the better part of about 8-9 years. Mm-hmm. That started with Flashpoint. I think that was, for the most part, awesome. There was a few bad movies in there that I didn't like, and there was a lot of it that was based on New 52 stuff, which I wasn't the biggest fan of. But overall, I think they handled that whole animated universe over the course of those 8 or 9 years really, really well. And I think it's like some of it, it's certainly the best. So there's some of those movies that are better than any, like I love Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Love that movie.
That's a good
it's a fantastic movie.
They really went all out with the violence, especially. I don't think a lot of people thought it'd be that gruesome and violent.
Yeah, it was. I thought they did a really, really fantastic job with that. Not all of them were winners. There were some duds in there that came out during that time that I didn't care for. But overall, I thought they like that. To me, I was watching as those animated movies were coming out. I'm thinking, this is what the DCU should be. This is what the live action movies should be.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like these movies are way
DC
better.
animated got more right than the DCU.
Because we all remember when Marvel tried their hand at DC animated films, how well that went.
Marvel's animated stuff. Not. I mean, there's a couple of decent ones in there here and there, but overall, no.
There's that.
It wasn't
quote.
bad, but DC rules in the animated movie property. We all know that.
Yeah.
While Marvel has a hand in live action. So.
Well, they did for a while anyway.
I will say, to the Superman Doomsday, the first animated movie, the problem was they were limited on time and on budget. They couldn't tell a full story, and you cannot cram a full story like that into an 89-minute film. That's just my 2 cents. I have that one, but I get why they changed it with a Superman clone, but no.
That full quote is,
go ahead,
dreams save us, dreams lift us up and transform us. And on my soul, I swear, until my dream of a world where dignity, honor, and justice become the reality we all share, I'll never stop fighting. Never.
You Googled that, didn't you?
I sure did.
I kind of figured. I couldn't remember the entire line.
I think it's important. And, I think it's I like that.
It's a really good message. It is.
The name of hell, that's from the Marvel stuff is good before Disney took over. That's one of the best Marvel animated though was Earth Mightiest Heroes. That show was fantastic. You had a Bruce Timm style feel to the animation. The stories were right out of the comics. It was very well done. Then Disney bought Marvel, rushed its conclusion so they can put up the stupid cartoon.
Avengers
Assemble.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I did like Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2. I liked those animated films of Marvel. Those two I thought were pretty good.
Back on the toy scene, did anybody get anything from the Holothon today from NECA?
No.
They're doing every Friday from the 12th to May 10th.
Unless they're doing TMNT #1 film figures, I'm good. I'm still wanting my Michelangelo.
You don't want the hip-hop cartoon turtles?
No. My wife, my brother will, but I know I don't need hip-hop on my shelf. I'm good with my sets of
They got groceries. They got jackets so nobody recognizes them.
Yeah, they're all decked out. Wait, does one of them have hair back there in the list?
Well, they got alternate heads with mohawks and hair.
I wonder, is that real though? Is that like real fuzz? That looks real on their heads, the mohawks.
I would be surprised if it was real.
They don't really normally do the flocked hair or the doll hair on NECA figures. But
yeah, I'm going to agree with Matt. I do like Man of Steel a lot better than Christopher Reeve films. I mean, yeah, they're really good. Like, they're really good at heart films, but they don't really take risks.
I'll solve this whole thing. Here we go.
Oh, I'm back. What? I got kicked. I got booted all because I said I agreed with Matt. How about that?
All right.
I thought this was like an open forum, not like the Gestapo.
I know. Tell me about it. It's a rebellion.
I'm not doing anything. It's just when you say a certain word, it just kicks you out on Mac.
You're clicking on the keyboard. What are you talking about over there?
It's a Jared Tatership.
Oh, okay. We'll put it that way.
Jared Tater.
We're getting a 6-inch scale Daryl Dixon from Toys.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, that's cool. It feels too little, too late at this point, to be honest.
Man, I just now look at the pictures. The soft goods look too big for him. They look like he's wearing his dad's clothes.
Who's Daryl?
Yeah, I mean, I
Walking
totally.
Dead.
Oh,
it does look good.
Oh.
It looks like
Nixon's his last name. I just knew his first name was Daryl.
Daryl Dixon.
And then it comes into my head. This is Daryl, my brother Daryl, and my other brother Daryl.
No, I'm Larry. That's my brother Daryl.
Yeah.
My other brother Daryl.
It just feels too little, too late for me.
Aren't they coming out with the Dead Reckoning 2? Dead Stranding 2? Death Stranding? Yeah. It's like a Death Stranding 1 with him in it. maybe this kind of. I think there was an announcement about a Death Stranding 2.
Did anybody order the Giant Man Wasp 2-pack?
Nope.
No.
I did.
I thought about it, and then I was like, that costs money.
Well, I wanted it because this is a pinless version. I didn't buy the HasLab for Giant Man because I got the Toy Biz. But I mainly got this so I can display this in front of my Toy Biz one because it's a pinless version of Ant-Man
I got this 2-pack.
that matches the Toy Biz costume.
You can put that laptop. You can put him with Reed Richards now. Make them buddies. The laptop.
The Wasp I had no desire for. Because
You don't like that retro head?
That's Amber Turd's face.
I like the retro head.
Who?
That's Amber Turd's face.
Oh. Yeah, but look at
What?
that retro
Why do you
pointy
have to-
head right there. With do the antennas go up and down? They look like they might.
They
I know.
do.
But she probably poops in Hank's bed.
Why are you mentioning she who shall not be named in this?
Because it's her face.
That's
It's
not
her
her
face.
Yeah, that totally looks like Amber Turd.
Here's where I'm at on that.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
Is that
it
That
does.
totally looks like Amber Turd.
It
I
does.
don't trust any of those people. They're all corrupt.
Well, at
suspicious.
least now we know. Yeah, that's definitely her. At least now we know who Hasbro likes.
Well, they made Storm look like Jada Pinkett Smith from the 97 figures.
Oh, okay. That's true. My wife has that figure.
I like that look for Wasp though. It's very
Look
like
at he's showing off his Scarlet right
like
there.
the old
That's her
sci-
first appearance look, yeah.
the old sci-fi pulp magazines.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing
That's
that
her
make it more pulpy is if you
1960s, like-
give her a little ray gun and like a Rocketeer jetpack.
That's her first appearance look, so it works. And like I said, I'm mainly getting it for the Hank, so I can display with my Giant Man.
Well, you can also make him, Hank, and Reed Lab Coat Bros.
And if anybody needs to figure out a use for this Hank head, it's a lot better head to use on Chuckles than Chuckles' head on G.I. Joe Classified. So I don't like the Chuckles head, and this head pops right on there.
It's funny, this came out for pre-order a few days ago, only for a little while later to become available to ship. So they got this out quick.
The Dragon Ball Super Saiyan God Vegeta.
Saiyan.
I'm just saying, man.
Yeah, that's how you pronounce it. Saiyan.
That's what I just said.
I'm making sure.
That was what
You
he was saying.
Saiyan. Okay. Some people always pronounce it like Saiyan or Saiyan. I got this pre-ordered, so
But
Those people also say aluminium.
they
You
do.
don't listen to that kind of negativity.
They do.
this actually looks pretty cool for if you're into the Sentinel armors.
This is on Matt's bucket list.
I could give a rat's ass about Falcon in that costume. However, I do like those Sentinel figures. They are cool.
That's it. I like the
I like the Sentinel figures. I got one.
Yeah.
But I don't have any connection to Falcon as a character. Like
same.
the comic books that I read with Captain America, it was just Captain America like punching Red Skull's face in a lot.
What about
what
Captain
I had.
America punching Hitler?
They never really start pushing Falcon
No, it was mostly just Red
until like the MCU
Oh.
stuff.
I mean, images came out of the new Captain America movie. Harrison Ford is Thunderbolt Ross.
Oh, I heard that.
So, here, we're also going to say Saiyan.
Cyan? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good way.
Cyan? Talking about colors?
Yeah, Cyan is what he's trying to say. But no, everybody, all the complaints
No,
from
it's
that,
not a shade of blue.
it is.
Cyan is a different color.
Yeah.
Oh, it's different.
But what I was saying about the movie is that still shot when it came out, people were going crazy about Harrison Ford not having the mustache.
These look cool, but they're disappointing. They don't have. I was like, oh, cool. They're going doing like copies of the Origins figures, but they don't have the articulation. They're articulated just like the vintage He-Man figures. and they're kind of pricey. They're like $35 a piece with no articulation.
I wouldn't pay for that much for figures that barely have any articulation.
How much are those?
Not
I think
that
they're
they,
35.
They don't even have knee.
$35.
They don't have knee or elbow joints. Those are like the original He-Man articulation.
Yeah.
5
Yeah,
away.
they're $35.
But I would not pay that much for
There's
them.
no way.
No.
That's insanely
It
expensive.
should be like,
What that is. That should
I
be
don't know,
like,
like $15.
yeah, I was gonna say $10.
I could see somebody who likes the vintage line and wants to try to get different characters that are sort of copies of that toy line like this. I could see some people who are into vintage buy these though, but I don't think they're going to spend $35 a piece for the entire
Yeah,
line.
well, some people also buy Priuses, and you won't catch me doing that.
Yeah.
That's true. That's very true.
Well, they did, anybody for about there, like they did put Kingpin back up for pre-order. Anybody missed the retro carded one?
Isn't he $40 though?
And I still have the original Build-A-Figure, so
yeah.
the-
I just feel like that's overpriced for that figure.
yeah.
I ordered Blob and Colossus and
He's
Juggernaut.
a
Okay.
giant figure. He's
Okay,
built
okay.
for yourself.
Don't get me started on giant figures because Diamond Select Toys puts out their big
Well-
figures for what, $29.99
If Diamond Select would ever drop a
10.
Kingpin figure,
and
holy
less. And
They would
less,
put
and
Kingpin at
arguably they're
$35.
more plastic. Same
plus it was
same articulation practically.
Plus, that figure was cheaper the first time it came out. They've just increased the price of Big Bad, especially because, it's a reissue. Because it was like $30-something when it first came out.
It was $34.99 when it first came out.
Yeah, so it wasn't
And,
more.
yeah. Hey, it's cool. It's a good figure. If you don't have a Kingpin, that's a great Kingpin figure in like his
Oh, yeah.
classic look. It's a great Kingpin figure. I already have the Build-A-Figure, which is him in a little bit more of a modern look, which I like better.
Which I use my modern one as the Shadow King, and this one is the main display one.
The only Kingpin I have is the live-action version.
But I agree, though. You got Marvel Select kicking the same size figures or bigger figures out for $30. Oh, they were $20. I think they moved their big figures up to $30 now. Marvel Select.
Yeah, I just got I just bought 3. I bought Red Hulk, Captain America, and Crimson Dynamo, and all of those were like $29, I think $29.99 or whatever. They're all $30.
For this to be 40 is kind
By the way, that Captain America figure is awesome. If it wasn't for the scale, that would easily be the best Captain America figure that has ever come
Diamond
out.
Select one.
That is the only thing.
Like is what he's talking about, yeah. I seen that 2-pack of the Wolverine at GameStop.
Dude, if this was 6-inch scale, like, I don't care, but I know a lot of people do. Like, this is the best Captain America figure I have ever seen.
But you gotta agree, the 20th anniversary is still a good Captain America.
Oh, it's a great Captain America figure.
Oh,
Um,
I think
Let's take a look at the
I
Diamond
think it
Select
is.
Captain America because I didn't buy him. And it was a conscious choice, and I think it had something to do with the proportions.
Oh. Yeah, no, I posted my video of him last week. When did I post that
Yeah.
video?
I
you
watched-
posted it last week.
The last week? Okay.
I want to
Yeah,
see
Yeah, you
pictures.
posted it last week. I actually watched it. You want to see the pictures of the Marvel Select Cap?
Well, I'm trying to find it.
Type faster.
You're on Mayfax, are you? Yeah, you're on the Mayfax page. That's mainly Mayfax's.
It says Captain America.
Don't tell me how to do my job.
You gotta
Oh,
show
I'm
more.
sorry.
You
I'm
got to show
sorry.
more under brands.
Here, zoom in on Make Matt.
I'm trying to. Quit yelling at me.
Yell at him some more. Now move past that.
I'm sorry, Jared. I don't mean to yell at you, buddy.
Here, help. Mute you, all right?
Gotta scroll down.
fantastic figure. Love it. I love it, man. I wish Marvel would do this. Or Hasbro would do this. If Hasbro would just do this.
If it's sold out, you'll have to. I think it's sold out. You might have to change the setting.
Okay.
Does he have sold
It
out?
comes with 3 different heads, It comes with a pull-down mask. It comes with 2 shields. He comes with the straps and the belt that you can take on and off depending on what look you want for him. Like, he can be, you can deck this dude out, basically be a Captain America from whatever, you know, era is your favorite Captain America.
I mean, I took the straps off my Marvel Legends cap and I gave him the Series 1 Captain America Toy Biz shield is what I gave him. Because this comes with the straps anyway, so I'm like, why do I need...
These are old product images?
Yeah, they're all product images.
I said, aren't these old product
those are old.
Yeah, they are old.
Those are old.
The mold don't look like this.
This is not what it looks like that I have up on my screen right now.
Yeah. Matt, if you want to show yours again.
Just a second. I got too many windows open. Okay,
Yeah,
so on this product, on this one right here, and I can't tell because you got your shoulder straps on. I think his shoulders go out a little bit too far. I think this part of his torso is too long, and I think his legs are too long.
But you're wanting to know what about the shoulders?
And then, if you open his hands would like go practically, like the tips of his fingers would go practically down to like, I don't know, below mid-thigh. So the knuckles should be right about in line with the bottom of the crotch here. So that's, yours looks much better proportioned than the product images that they got.
Yeah, the thighs look better on yours too than the product images.
Yeah, they don't look as long, and
the
arms don't look quite
for
as long.
perspective, his arms are shorter than mine, but
Kinda
I have
real
long
arms
ass
you
monkey
got.
arms. I don't know if that matters, but my arms, if I put my fingers out, touch my knees.
Jeez.
So I have long arms, but
I have a long torso, and so when I put my hands down, my knuckles don't quite go all the way.
I am so looking forward to getting these. The missing links, those are, I've got these from Big Bag Toy Store. Hopefully, if y'all like G1 Transformers, somebody got these because they're just what a lot of G1 fans wanted forever. Before Masterpiece or hyper-articulate figures ever existed, we want to articulate G1 figures. And they're doing it for Optimus Prime for the 40th anniversary. But I dig it.
real quick. So I just want to say, because Darth is saying that Diamond Select barely has any articulation. Not anymore, dude. Like, this has all the articulation of a McFarlane figure. Double jointed knees, double jointed elbows, ankles, wrists. It's got waist swivel. It's got that upper torso joint. It's got bicep swivels. It's got that upper thigh joint that turns like a McFarlane does. So no thigh cut, but you've got that. This has all the articulation of like I said, of a McFarlane. It's just lacking that thigh cut that a Marvel Legend has. So they've finally started adding double jointed knees and elbows to their stuff.
The AKA is like, it is expensive, but it's about the same price as what they were doing. Not much difference between the standard reissues they were doing just not too long ago.
Yep.
They were doing like the cab by itself for $50 of G1 Optimus Prime, and the Japanese reissues of the G1 Optimus Prime with the trailer were $100. This is $120 for an articulated version, $70 for just a cab. They are expensive, but
How
what is
tall
it?
is that figure?
It's but it's about 6 inches tall.
That's like
It's like I said,
that's a lot per inch there.
it's Transformers. They've always been expensive.
It's nuts. Because I mean, arguably, there's more engineering that goes into a transformer.
Oh,
but there's not.
sorry,
a
he
whole
was
lot,
just being sarcastic.
there's not like a whole lot more articulation that goes
Yeah,
into it.
This is,
I mean-
this is all new tooling, new mold. It's want to have die cast parts.
So there's more engineering that has to go into it with regard to the design stuff. But
Yeah,
I don't think that it should be. That seems like there's a little bit of price gouging there due to popularity.
Part of it too is import, and overseas it's not that expensive, not this price. But they're getting them shipped over in a container, and that's part of the jack of the price. But definitely looking forward to getting them all. This is ridiculously overpriced for what it is. It's just a rotocast.
It's a freaking pop figure is what it is.
Yes, and they're wanting $250 for it.
I'm not buying it.
It looks great. If that was like, and we talked about this before. If that was like $50, I'd be like,
you think this over here?
I would say it's overpriced, but you know what? I'll pay it just because it looks cool.
It's just a solid statue, though. I don't think.
Well, you think?
I don't think that's worth. $50.
Well, you think Big Bad?
I think it does have like arm rotation, like just straight, and I think the legs do turn a little bit at the hip.
There's no. Even if they did, you can't. But have him in one position, or he's falling.
Yeah, no, I know it's shit. But what I'm saying is like at $50, this thing is overpriced. But I'd probably at $50, I'd be like, you know what? Screw it. It kind of looks cool. I'd probably spend it. But at $250, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like it would be overpriced at $50. Like,
yeah.
Well, we know when it comes to Big Bad, they like to overprice some stuff on their website. Like, look at their Dragon Ball figure art.
This is from this company. This is from this company. It's not.
Yeah.
Their prices. They're not overpricing over any other U.S. vendor. That's what I was talking about before. They have import pricing because they're not setting that price. It's every vendor in the country is setting that same price. You go to Big Bad Toy Store, you go to TF Stores, you go to Chosen Prime, they're all running the same price.
Wow.
I was thinking like
pricey for what it is.
I was talking about like Dragon Ball figure arts, how I can go on literally any other website and find them for like $30 to $60, but then I go on Big Bad and they're like over $100.
Well, it depends on the figure too.
You had to be a huge Juggernaut fan to pay $250 for this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I'm good with the.
Well, especially because at that price, there are like nice statues and things you can pick up.
Yeah.
And
you can buy like you can buy the original Diamond Select Juggernaut for way less than that. That looks almost exactly the same. It has more articulation.
Actually, has articulation.
Yeah.
I'm still
just got the best.
This is a Walmart exclusive that nobody's ever going to get.
When does that thing release? Have they dropped the release date yet?
They have not said, and Walmart's in charge of the release date. So, who knows? What's going to happen is the bots are going to buy it all in 30 seconds. They'll go up for pre-order, and 30 seconds later, it'll be sold out.
Didn't that just happen somewhere else? And the company put out a statement saying we apologize. What was it? It was Hasbro. It was those ATVs on Hasbro, wasn't it? And Hasbro put out that statement.
Oh, yeah, yep. I got it pulled up. That's the next thing.
Yeah, because they sold out like literally in 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah,
and people were pissed.
I never even saw it up.
And Hasbro put out a press release saying we're very sorry this happened. I don't think they're going to do anything about it. But
well, here's what they should do. You ready? They should wait until the orders go through, and then they should release it again.
Yeah,
for everybody else to buy at a lower price, and then let all the people who are doing the scalping bull crap eat it.
Yeah. Yep. Which I'm actually digging the Tiger Force colors on it.
Yeah, I like it.
I tried to pre-order this. I tried to pre-order this, but it was sold out. So.
Yeah, it was. It was fast. It went.
Yeah, I think it was like what 2 minutes, maybe 5 minutes.
Here's a funny thing: if this had just been put to retail, like at Target or something.
Oh, it is going to Target.
It's going to end up on clearance because I'm sorry, like a lot of people don't like the Tiger Force shit.
This is a Target exclusive.
Ends up going on clearance.
This is actually a Target exclusive, and all the exclusives Hasbro Pulse. I'm gonna start calling them Hasbro Pulse. They get a limited amount they put up for pre-order of the store exclusives.
I mean,
and that's what
you can't say that people don't like Tiger Force. I mean, remember when Outback came out, he sold out quick.
Yeah, yeah. When they dropped him down to $9.99, which is when I bought 3 of them.
I'm talking about the first time when they brought him out. He sold out quick. I couldn't even get.
Dude, he was such a peg warmer at my Targets. Like
the one with the Survivor shirt, the white one,
the Tiger one.
Yeah, the orange one. I think you can buy real cheap now.
Oh, you can. I got
this one got here for $10.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one for $9.96 or whatever, $9.99.
Yeah.
Are those the crimson bats
right
here?
Yes, they are.
But
you
I
can
remember
get crimson bats for $13 off Kids Warehouse.
Oh, and by the way, Stalker is on Amazon right now for like $13.
Yeah,
I picked up a couple more of him because I'm gonna
bought them the other day.
kit bash them. But Stalker's a great. I would say in general, Stalker's like the best kit bash body.
I see that crimson.
Yep, I bought a bunch of them for that upgrading.
Yeah.
Grunt was up for like, when I found him the other day, he was up for like $13. But then the next time I looked, because I was thinking about getting the second one, he was back up to like 26 or something.
And if you need the twins, $7 a piece.
Yeah, I regret having.
I got them when they went on sale at Amazon.
Them.
They went on sale for like $11 a piece. I think I picked both of them up.
That
Their
crimson,
online store, Darth. I've ordered for them a couple times, and
I have to.
no problem. Oh, and
Yeah,
just for anybody ordering, there's discount codes right here for shipping.
Yeah, don't make that mistake. I didn't even see that discount code. I had already ordered by the time Jared was like, "Oh, did you use the discount code?" I'm like, "What?"
Order's over $100 though.
Oh, but you $50, you get $5 off.
Okay, well, I mean that's better than nothing.
the bat
They got Marvel Legends too.
They sell the bat over at Books A Million. That bat right there. They've got at least, I think, 10 of them in stock.
They got Marvel Legends real cheap. Yeah. It's like buying from Ollie's and Ross online.
Yeah, it's basically what it is. They're online.
This
Ollie's
is a fun
discount
troop
store.
builder there. The supervillain AIM one. That's a fun troop builder.
Yeah.
Sure
What's
you're
this?
gonna do that.
What's it called? Kids Warehouse is the website. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out later.
There's that maggot.
Yep. $9.
Yeah, that's what
$10 for this Outback Rogue that people were going crazy for a while.
That's
that
what
was
I
a
used for Dane body.
These were Amazon exclusives.
Which, by the way, Amazon, you go on Amazon, that thing is $35.
That's ridiculous.
This is Amazon exclusive.
Different sellers selling the
$55.
That's where I got that, and that was originally what, $120?
I'll tell y'all. I've got a funny Amazon story for y'all.
There we go.
Thank you.
Thank you, AK.
On Amazon. I tried to buy this guy on Amazon. And what happened was when he came in after a week of waiting, it wasn't this figure. It was a completely different one.
Who is
The
that
funny
figure?
story-
I can't tell.
Broken Matt Hardy from AEW. But the funny thing was when I opened the packaging, it was not Matt Hardy. It was Scorpio Sky. So literally, I paid for a white man and got a black man instead.
Well,
I'm serious. I literally did. I'm like, this
What
is
did you
not
say
what
you
I
did?
ordered.
Wait a minute. What did you say you did?
saying he bought a black
Hey,
man.
you need to kick him off the channel. I don't think that's appropriate.
He said, I mean, he said it, not we didn't. I mean,
Yeah, he's gone.
we here at Collector
There.
Fusion do not endorse slavery.
He's now been
No.
reprimanded.
No, I'm saying this was the figure I ordered. I didn't get this one. Amazon
So,
said it wrong.
But basically, he bought a black man.
I heard.
not like that.
You know,
That's
I mean,
awful.
really, does that make it not wrong if it was
terrible.
by accident? You know what I mean?
That's terrible, man. I can't believe you
Awful.
did anything like that.
Just awful.
Okay, I'm sorry. Forgive my mouth. I'm sorry.
Hey, is that a shark?
That's why I was looking to see if they had any in stock.
We need a Fonzarella figure to jump the shark.
Yeah.
Nice.
Actually, I got that shark upstairs. I got from Ollie's.
I thought about buying a shark a couple of times. I was tempted, and then I was tempted, and then I was like, nah.
I didn't watch it, but I did see some of the recap stuff. Like,
I think I lack that fear of losing out that like a lot of people have.
Name, I did watch WrestleMania. Me and my wife, we watched it this past weekend.
Yeah, they got,
Name asked it in it. Watch
this site
WrestleMania.
gets
I was just-
Amazon exclusives a lot. So
But yes, Name, I did.
What are
me and my
those
wife, we did
robot
watch
toys?
WrestleMania.
these are Transformers.
I've never heard of them before.
Yeah, I think they're new.
Yeah, they seem like they are. I mean, robots are new, right?
Yeah. Well,
Well, here's
I hear
the
that
popcorn bucket for Transformers 1.
Nice.
I hear that Transformers are all the rage nowadays. I don't know. People seem to have a
Matt-
problem with it.
Matt Vulcan's giving you a 5-minute warning.
Oh yeah, I got 5 minutes till my show. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got
He's giving you a time.
in-hand pictures of Magnaboss, which looks fantastic. I got this on pre-order. He is big.
Big meat. Big man.
There is the Voyager class Optimus Prime. A dwarf.
That looks like somebody did a close up. You know that famous picture on the internet of the
How big
girl
is the
sitting on the
Voyager?
couch surrounded by a bunch of big dudes.
I liked it.
The Voyager is probably about the size of like a Warpath, somewhere around there.
That picture looked like Optimus Prime was about to get.
Smacked it.
We need a big Optimus Prime. What was that one that you sent me that link of once? I should have ordered that.
The
Ones that's
Pengu
almost
and the
scale.
Luan. The Luan and the Pengu.
I don't remember. The big,
One's like 3 feet tall, and one's like or like I think close to 3 feet tall or something like that. Oh, 2 foot something. 2 foot something.
Yeah.
And the other one
24
is,
inches or something.
yeah, and the other one is like almost 18 inches.
I really thought about ordering that 2 foot plus one.
And we got the pre-orders up for the last Masterpiece Masterpiece Transformer. They're calling it MPG 9 is for this the cab.
I'll be
No,
right
that's,
back.
that's for the whole thing. That's MP9. Oh, it's MP. This is MP60. Just the base bot. I want to see scale. We're talking about MPG stuff's going to be smaller. That's why they did the Masterpiece trains small scale. That's MPG. The Raiden trains, they sucked. The third-party version of the trains were so much better. So they're just going to be pushing people to third-party. We got previews for Transformers number 8. Lita 1 showing up. This is like doing gangbusters in sales in comics right now. It's probably like one of the popular Transformers comics in a long time. They're selling thousands of copies of this one. When you have IDW, they were selling at max, I think, like around about 3,000 issues to the stores. And this is selling like tens of thousands of copies per issue. Right now, it's like the hottest book at my friend's comic book shop. Like the last few issues, when it really took off, when Optimus got Megatron's arm, he had reordered that book like 4 times. They're doing a special edition Optimus Prime as a Corvette race car. It's kind of weird. It's like Michael Bay version of Optimus Prime. It turns into
It's his look from not Age of Extinction.
Last
from
Night.
Yeah, from last night. I tried to think of it, but it's
And then we get some pictures here. Oh, come on.
we got a good looking guy right here, I guess.
Trying to get it to open up a new window. There we go. I was trying to see what's in. Oh, we're getting a Studio Series Sharkticon. So a little preview sneak peek there. And some other Transformers on display.
I really hate they canceled the Premium Finish Studio series.
Yeah.
Like that was always what I really ordered for Transformers was the Premium Finish.
This is one of the things that's kind of weird here. They're reissuing Earthrise Optimus Prime again. This is the third or fourth time they've reissued them.
It's the fourth.
And
they've reissued here.
Which makes no sense because we're getting a new Studio Series Commander class, G1 Optimus Prime, and they're reissuing this one again. It's like, makes no sense.
Gentlemen, I have to cut out.
All right.
I'm getting yelled at on my other channel.
All right.
Already. It's literally just now 9 and people are already yelling.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Actually, you will not. I am not doing a show tomorrow night. Me and my wife have a date tomorrow night. We're going to do something. So no geek chat tomorrow night.
All right.
Okay.
So we are doing a giveaway stream tomorrow on Electric Fusion tomorrow. So.
All right.
So if you're looking for geek stuff, we got it there.
I'm back.
All right. I will see y'all later.
Cheers.
Later.
Jared, don't end the chat and get me kicked off YouTube.
All right. Link at Megatron.
Yeah, there you go. I'll see y'all later.
Cheers.
But this one makes a little more sense getting a reissue because it's hard to get.
What is that?
That is War for Cybertron Optimus Prime.
That
from
one?
a video game.
What does he look like when he's transformed?
I have War of Cybertron from the I have War of Cybertron from the Netflix show. Premium Finish is the one I've got. Yep, this was actually my first Transformer I've gotten at all.
This is the Earthrise from the TV trilogy, the animated trilogy, which sucked.
You know, I wonder why did they never make a version of Transformers from like Energon?
So that's funny. The render is actually showing the Netflix version.
It is showing that is the Netflix version of what I've got in my hand.
Yeah, yellow eyes. Now this is. I wish we got a premium finish like this on this figure. So those color schemes, but we never got it. We got these really flat colors.
Premium finish just makes Transformers look so much better.
Oh,
remember the Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime when it came out?
Oh, it sucks. A friend of mine, he sets up cons. He does cons all the time. He when he first ordered the Japanese Takara versions, when they quit doing the Takara premium finishes. Last time I had him, last time I saw him at the last, he's had those figures for years because they're exactly the same as American versions. They just put Japanese stickers on the boxes. They quit doing. Used to be if you ordered Takara, they're completely different paint jobs. They do a premium finish. The prices were a little different because they're doing more in the factory. They were nicer. You paid a premium and got a better figure. They quit doing that, and they didn't tell the vendors. And he ordered those, and he got stuck with them because he paid a lot more than what he would have paid for the American versions, and they're exactly like the American version.
Yeah. Well, on Big Bad, they'd be like $30-some. Then when you pay premium finish, it's an extra $20. I mean, most of my Transformers I got are premium finish, so. Which
I'm wanting to see scale on this thing, but after seeing the little small blurry pictures, I was excited for this thing, the Power Master Prime. But actually seeing the high-res pictures, it looks like crap.
I think scale-wise, I don't think it's going to be like the 4-inch tall figures. It might be 6.
I know it's not going to be 4-inch. It's Hasbro. They don't do the little like New Age Legend scale. I'm wanting to see this next to LP10 because they're going to quit doing the old LP10 as the benchmark scale. They're going to start. The LP60 is the last masterpiece, and they're going to go to smaller figures. So it makes me wonder if this is the same size as LP10. If it's not,
I wonder imagine they go 6 inches instead of 7.
I would assume they're going to go somewhere close to probably what current mainline figures are.
Probably, usually 7 inches tall is the main line. But it depends on the figure because some of them will go up to 8 inches tall.
When I've seen close-up pictures, the super mode, it looks awful.
It does. It looks terrible. It's missing paint. It's missing deco on is what it's missing. It's missing that detail.
Well, they're doing the anime style, which anime style, but with metallic colors, which don't make sense.
The Optimus, it needs to be white and brighter blue is what it needs.
We did get some
That
updates from Ramen Toys. Ramen Toys is going to do some He-Man heads. Replace this ugly mug here with this. Because Mattel cannot make a He-Man head to save their life.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I mean,
So
you compare
the flagship character, yet they seem to hate him.
Yeah, his eyes are too far apart. I don't know.
Well,
I don't dig the open mouth expression one, but I like I like the one where he's got his closed mouth. Yeah,
that one's
better.
I like verse 2 too. Okay.
Yeah, he looks like. Did I just eat too much Taco Bell?
You could literally put a cigarette in your mouth or something.
They're showing the ramen racer is in the shipping container and being shipped out to vendors.
Sweet.
Good.
So we should be getting an email soon about getting the pay for shipping. So I'm looking forward to getting mine. I got one black one, one orange one, and they start showing these new tanks they're doing. They're doing different variants.
Aku just said Masterverse is bad. I agree. Masterverse.
I like Origins better. The only Masterverse stuff I really pick up are the stuff I've missed, and I can fudge into a classic display.
The only thing I like from Masterverse is their new Eternia line, which is supposed to be more classic, but with some modern
They
aesthetic.
still got those weird biceps, like they're
Yeah.
cut too far up to allow for more movement.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that without wrecking the articulation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at wrecking the sculpt. I mean,
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but really, Masterverse, the only good line about it is, of course, New Eternia, or like you said, Origins is my favorite He-Man line to collect. Origins is.
yeah, the Origins are like selling. Of course, they did screw up with the Evil Lyn. The Filmation Evil Lyn, they gave her yellow skin and no cape. I actually canceled her because the Filmation one is not supposed to have yellow skin, and she's supposed to have a cape.
They made her like the original Origins figure was the problem.
Right, and it's already made. It's in a shipping container, being sent over. It's already heading this way, so they're not going to fix it.
I guarantee
they're already produced, so I canceled it because more than likely they'll make another version the right color.
They'll reissue. I mean, Mattel, whenever they make mistakes, they try to reissue the figure again and correct those mistakes. It takes a while.
Like they did with the knees on the earlier Origins females.
Yeah, like I have.
That's a pretty good sized tank, and they're doing like the bridge layer, a couple variants of it, and the turret style.
Mm-hmm. Like this Evil Lyn is the reissue with the better sculpted knees on the figure.
Mm-hmm.
This is the reissue, but yeah, they'll reissue the cartoon Evil Lyn and make her more accurate. They shouldn't, but they will.
Trying to find, they did a color picture and pricing on the 18 van. I bet it's on their Instagram.
Aku said, at least she won't have bad knees. That's true. She won't have the bad sculpted knees. That's for sure. But yeah, I remember when Origins first came out,
we got pricing on the 18 van. The base model van is going to be $100. It doesn't look like the 18 van. It's going to come black or white. Won't have the spoiler and the sun visor and the lights and stuff. It's just going to be base vans. To get it to look like the 18 van, it's $150. That's early bird pricing for both of those. And I think
that's not bad pricing.
I saw somewhere they're going to start putting the price, shipping into the price.
I think he said that on one of the live streams, like or one of the update announcement things, because he apologized about not having included it in the price the first time.
Yeah,
and
well, they're still a fairly new company, so they're trying to work everything out.
Yeah,
but definitely, I'm going to go an 18 band. So.
I get it, but I don't the shelf space for it.
Well, you make space because it's 18 van. You get the 18 van when
I'll make space.
When an 18 van, you take the 18 van.
I'm gonna make space for it. Okay, I will get it. I'll get it because I know to make you happy.
Trying to figure out what this is. It's a 1/12 scale vehicle, automobile.
That's not a DeLorean.
That looks like a
not
car.
a DeLorean.
A car is what it looks like.
At first, I was like, "That's not an F." A lot of people, is it a Knight Rider? I was like, "Well, it's clearly not an F body because the Trans Am. There's a window right here."
Look at the back of it right there.
Yeah.
He's got the back of the vehicle at his head, and then
That
there's
looks like a DeLorean.
It is. Wait, no, that is a DeLorean.
No, DeLoreans don't have this window. And DeLoreans have gull-wing.
They have
DeLoreans have gull-wing doors. This does not have gull-wing doors. This is the roof line, the A-pillar, and the
I don't know. The back part there looks like the
Name said it's a Ferrari. Is what he's saying it is. Name is.
When I first looked at it, my guess is Lotus, James Bond's Lotus.
We'll pull
it might be
for that. Let's see what that looks like.
But there's also you see this little window that made me think it's not an F-body Trans Am? That is on the Super Pursuit mode Knight Rider. There's a little vent comes out right here. So it's a possibility it could be an F-body. But let's see. The Lotus that turns into a submarine.
Aku made a suggestion saying, "Is it a turbo?" Is what
you got that. You got that little window there. The back's very much like a DeLorean. I'm thinking it's a Lotus.
It might be.
You don't have the gull-wing doors, like.
Let's take a look at it again.
There's the plastic mod.
Yeah, that. I think you might be right there because the line. Because if you look at the line at the back of the where the back lift would be, it's right in line with that window that comes down. And if you
the only thing that throws it off,
that triangle at the back looks a little bit wrong. Yeah, right there.
The gas door here too. That's the location of an F-body. So
I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
You can also see the gas doors right here on that one. And the wheel well is issue, but you got Knight Rider Super Pursuit mode. You got that vent that opens up on the side, which make it, if they're doing that pop out, if they're going to do a Knight Rider and have it like do Super Pursuit mode, that could be a thing too. And the gas door would be where they show it, like right there. So it's hard to make out with where it's underside of a plastic shell. We can't really see. So it's, I don't know. It'd be cool either way. It's cool they're doing 1/12 scale like movie vehicle.
That extra detail on the back was what was making me think it was a DeLorean. Like they were getting ready to do like a.
Yep. So the Super Pursuit mode has all that crazy detail stuff on the back too. And we got Loose Collectors. They did a like stand test of their Great Wolves. And that's the one I ordered, the gray one. He's not floppy. That's the thing with those type of legs. You usually see like hard to get those kind of legs to stand.
Uh-huh.
Tight joints. And I like it. Great range of movement on the head.
You know what I see right here? I see a company that actually cares about its product, unlike Hasbro and Mattel, who makes so many issues with their product.
Well, they're doing one-off molds too. Like they're getting 4 uses out of the wolf, but not much you can do after that. You got the white,
and like
the gray, the brown, the white, and the black. And they're actually doing different head sculpts for each one of them.
Mm. Well, I'm just saying, like, you got a small company like that who cares about its product that it's trying to deliver, unlike a big company like Hasbro and Mattel who makes so many mistakes that they don't care about their product that much.
Those are cool.
They are cool.
Maestro Union, Fury Planet, Tiger Blade, Master Wing, exclusive version.
Yeah. They already released him in orange, and he was a really good figure.
Yeah, I got the orange one. I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm. Where I got me ordered some Abyss Force stuff, like what is those humanoid shark creep figures from Loose Collector? No, it's not Loose Collector. It's Fury Toys, I think. I'm still waiting for my order to come in at that.
We got some third-party turtles coming in.
Mm-hmm. That'll be on 5K Toys. Yep.
It's 5K Toys Instagram. And if you go to 5K Toys, their website will have stuff that's third-party, redacted, the other faces and stuff. Just go to their Instagram. You can find good pictures of them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's cool.
So that body.
I think that's a repaint. I think he's originally blue.
I like the orange.
No,
I like.
Yeah,
the
that
orange.
that is a repaint.
Oh, this is. I think we mentioned this last week. There's somebody's. Oh, it's supposed to be a different company making actual pit heads for this not pit body.
You know, I actually found the genuine pit figure last week. I found it at a toy store, and the guy was charging $250 for it.
$250 for the original Build-A-Figure. If it's not a knockoff, that's a good price.
Yeah, it was $250. I mean, these are cool, but
I'm buying these.
Yeah,
I'm getting this one, and I'm gonna mail it to Don. And hey,
are you gonna
remember that Thor Buster I made? I want some soft goods for this.
Yeah.
Are you wanting to Incredible Hulk figure, like a red Hulk or gray Hulk?
Oh no, this is gonna be pit.
Okay, just making sure.
I don't need to make Hulk. I got 1,500 Hulks. I don't need to make another Hulk.
Customizer, Jared. Sometimes you take your customizing to the extreme. So I was just asking.
But, and I don't know if anybody's seen this thing. The Cthulhu.
That is cool.
Isn't that like $250?
I have no idea.
And then like 7 inches tall or 6 inches tall.
I don't know.
It wouldn't surprise me if it was $250 to $300 for that thing. I mean, all the sculpting and paint and stuff you got there. I mean, whoo!
Yeah, let's Google search it.
It looks good. It is too rich for my blood. If that's the one that I think it is.
Shopping.
189. Is that it? No.
It's either $200 or $189. That's $200.
Yeah, it's too much. I don't think it was very tall. It's 1/12 scale.
Aku said McFarlane could do it for $50.
Yeah, and it would look like they did it for $50.
It would look cheap. Yeah.
11.
It is 11
inches taller than I
tall.
thought it was.
It's 11 inches tall.
Yeah.
That's still pricey for that, I think.
That's
I feel.
I feel it's too expensive too.
It priced me out of it. That's for
It
sure.
Well,
looks good.
Spiro Toys is doing, if they can get it unlocked, which let's check on them.
I mean,
If
it
they can
does.
get it unlocked, the Mamba is going to be $90.
You and that Mamba.
Everybody's wanting the Mamba.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got the prices here. Kickstarter price is $89, then get unlocked.
And how big is he?
He is, I think they said 10 inches tall.
You said 10.
I said 10.
Yeah, you said 10 inches tall.
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
what
you said he was.
right now they're at $245. They got 4 days to go, but they usually get a big surge at the end. So
Have to wait and see how far it goes.
Yep.
I guarantee if it doesn't reach all the way to Mamba, they're going
we got
to.
last time it got close to 400,000 on their first Kickstarter. It's 3 something. So hopefully they'll get a big surge and unlock some more stuff, because I like to get this too.
I guarantee you, if it doesn't reach all the way to Mamba, they're going to release it anyway, or
Yeah,
they'll
well,
probably do
they-
another.
Tooling is very expensive. You're looking at
I know.
regular figure. You're looking probably like 30,000 or plus for a regular figure for tooling.
I know.
And he's
I'm saying-
a massive figure, so they got a lot of tooling that's going to be more expensive.
I know. I'm saying they'll probably get done what figures it reaches, and then they'll do another tier thing again, or do another backer deal and put the figures and make them less, like charge them a
All
little
these-
bit less.
New female heads unlocked. They're getting like
I could see them doing that.
the
like-
cyborg heads look pretty cool,
Those look cool, yeah. I could see them.
and
Whatever.
I like these heads. The bulldog smoking a cigar. I got ordered the bulldog, and that'll be the head I'll have on mine.
Mhm. But like I said, I could see this reaching to a certain point where they make those figures like, okay, let's do another backer list, and let's put the figures that did not get to the limit, and let's see how far it goes.
These are
I
kind of
could see them
cool.
do
I'm
something like that.
tempted to get these. They're little kits, like the
looks like a chibi.
yeah, they're little
Mini
chibis. They're basically the size of the original Action Master figures, but they actually have articulation.
They're minis.
They're
mini
little model kits too. They're
minis.
pre-painted model kits. I kind of dig them, just for nostalgia, because I actually had most of the Action Masters at one time. This looks badass.
200. I've been 200 to $180 to $200.
It is.
Because when a figure looks that good, you have to expect it to cost a lot of money. So,
Well,
Isn't that the one McFarlane made a statue out of, and everybody was like disappointed?
yeah. I mean, they already did make. Someone actually said earlier today that the Neo statue looks like Todd McFarlane himself with glasses. It doesn't look nothing like Keanu Reeves.
so you can see if
Which
we can
I've never picked any of the statues up because they're not worth anything. They're just statues.
Well, it is expensive. It looks like it's around about $150 or so.
150, okay. I said 180 to 200. So. It is a good look. It is a beautiful looking figure, though.
Yep. Don't have any connection to it, so for me,
Yeah.
that is pretty much all I got. The Ramen Toys has got some packaging samples, like for their not Brave Star, the Marshall.
Mhm.
Got a test shot in it. And for their Aviator. A lot of
That
different.
Marshall.
The Marshall
Go
was
ahead.
pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It does look good.
I think I made a few Warcraft figures a while ago. And that is all I got for toys. And I think that's all for the night. And everybody in the chat, thank you for coming out and hanging out with us tonight. It's always fun to get to talk toys. Jace, Cannon, thank you for. I know you had to. Cannon had to come in here, like settle the things right with Superman.
I had to sort some stuff
Matt
out.
will come here and go, this is why I like Superman so much. I told my wife, she thought when I told her about Matt, how when he gets on a topic, he loves to go on about it. She's like, really? I'm like, yes, he does.
And just remember,
everybody, Todd Father here, bringing you the latest in the Todd McFarlane. This is the new Batman Samurai. Batman Samurai, kind of cool, got some cool shit here and there and in a package, and I make them a.
Bar my Porsche. Tomorrow, everybody in the chat, tomorrow night, we're doing a thank you, subscriber appreciation thank you on Collector Express. Want to do a few giveaways, but start at 7 o'clock Eastern, and we'll see you then.
Later, y'all.
Cheers.
Later.
Ninja vanish.